Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Micon Podcast. I'm Sean Wakimbaloye, and it's great to have you with us as this is our very first edition of the year. Let me start by wishing you a happy new year, wherever you may be watching. May 2025 bring fruitfulness and fulfillment to all of us. Nigeria's youth form a major part of the population, with about 70% under the age of 30 and 42% under 15. The median age, just 17.2 years, yet this vibrant demographic faces daunting challenges: unemployment, underemployment, poverty, limited access to education, and inadequate health care, to name a few. To address these issues, the Ministry of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, has called for a united, collective approach. Today, I have him join us to dissect these issues for us. His ministry is going to be tackling a lot of these burning and these pressing challenges and what 2025 holds for Nigerian youth. I have joining me on the Micon Podcast, the Honorable Minister for Youth, Honorable Ayodele Olawande. Thank you so much indeed for joining us on the Micon Podcast.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
Fine. I'm good. Like I can see, I'm also looking younger like you, but you're older than me. So I'm very good. Very good.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, being a former Minister of State, now a full-blown minister. Yeah. How does that feel?
I just see it as more work, good there. Let him know that the president has not made a mistake of putting a young people, and that is what I call youth for youth. This is the first time in the history since 1999 that we own this ministry ourselves. So whatever, and I used this one, I said whatsoever, how we want to do it, I don't know. We must just change the narrative. We must just let people know that, okay, this is a time for us. And I'm younger, I still have a long way to go, so I must prove people right and wrong, that this generation, so that I can also give those young people coming behind me, we Gen Z and millennials, so that I can give them this thing that, okay, the people can put them in a position, we can do things differently, we can open our eyes, we can break the yokes and chains and everything and let things work better for the country. Truly, we can't do it alone. I cannot do it alone. I don't have a capacity, but I still have the capacity to make things work. So, and that is why we thank the president for the first time for giving us the opportunity just to do more job. As Minister of State, like every other person we said, you are a Minister of State. Maybe to some people, they will say you are deputy, you are this, you are that, you are surrogate, you are not surrogate, all this language and all that. But still, we still put some things in place. We still talk to the president because he listens to us every time. And we still come back and said, okay, we have the mantle now. We can convince a lot of people to have a rethink and believe in the hope. And that is the renewed hope that the government is talking about.
It's interesting. I mean, so you're in full control of the ministry now.
Yeah, sure.
No Minister of State. It's only you that you're running the affairs. But how's that been? Because two of you were running the affairs, but now only one person.
It's more work is to face the challenges and look at it critically and let people know too that there's difference between Ministry of Youth and Ministry of Labor, because a lot of people with Ministry of Youth is just a human capital building ministry to give opportunity to people to go there. And that is why when you are young, like me, you can easily go to anywhere, go to any ministry, make collaborations, beg. When you are old, you may not be able to beg. You may say, okay, I'm this, then I don't want to pass my boundary. But me, I can pass my boundary. I can go anywhere. I can visit the development partners and everybody and say, see, it is time for everybody to put their hands on ground and let us do something for this country differently and think outside the box. So I see it as an opportunity to showcase myself. I see it as an opportunity to give other young people that are coming behind an access to the government, an access to leadership, and put up the leadership skills and said it's not every young people that power has entered their head, and put it down for people to look at. So that's why.
But I mean, there's still a lot of people who still clamor that there still need to be more youth representation in the cabinet. But I mean, like you mentioned, it's a good way to start. But again, there are those who also say, have the youth really impressed in governance? How many youth can you put your finger on and say, oh, this person is a youth and is doing impressively well in governance? And that's been the major problem. So a lot of the older folks are still looking down and say, these young people, they don't know what they are doing.
I agree with you to some extent because of what we portray to the outside view some of the time. When we get to position, and that is why leadership skill is very, very important. And that is why as Ministry of Youth, a lot of people don't even know that we have citizenship and leadership training center. That's the second agency of the Ministry of Youth, which as a civil servant, as whatever position you want to handle, you must get the certificate of this agency. But for over 50 years, 60 years thereabout, things have not been going well in that agency. And we are reviving it, we are putting it up. Because majority of our young people are not in line with the leadership training. Is it that you are not in line with leadership training? Or majority of them, even the elderly ones, and that is what transformed to us. Whoever who trains you tells you who you become. That's the truth. So when you are talking about leadership and youth are not doing the right thing they should do, it's who trained them. Mm-hmm. What are the skills, leadership skills that they intake? A lot of people believe that skills are furnitures, are this, are that. Leadership is part of the skills that you need to come with, because until when you are good, you have the inside of leadership. That is when you will know that when you are going out there, you are committed to the people first.
I mean, it's interesting for those who know Mr. Olawande. You come from an activism background,
yeah, sure,
and from a very humble background too. How has this been for you? How did you become a minister?
How I become a minister, I used to, and this would be another view to a large numbers of young people outside there. I tell people several times, I still made mention of this, that nobody can stand up and attest to this and said, I made you this, I pay for your school fees, I do this, I do that for you. And that is why majority of them, they don't have anything over me. Nobody can come anywhere and say, I was the one that made you this. How do you make me? How?
So you didn't have a political godfather?
You may have mentors, like people like D.I. Kekemeke, people in the Ondo State settings, Akeredolu, Rotimi, late governor, and all that. But that doesn't put you up to say, okay, this is a political godfather. They don't even treat me like a godfather, because we argue about things. We come to the board and said, even beyond policies, when we started, nobody started with us. We were out there. They gave us the opportunity to showcase what you can do. I started from the unit. I was ward ESCO, even at my very low age. I was pushing to be, okay, this is what we can do. We can do things differently. I was a youth leader of the state, in Ondo State, of a party, APC. I was Ashiwaju Grassroots Foundation, Southwest, coordinator in Ondo State and all that. We put up foundations that we educate, we talk to young people, and we tell them that, see, we can do this differently.
So you've put in the hard work.
Very big hard work. There is no work. There is no hard job I've never done in my life.
What do you mean? Menial jobs?
Yes, menial jobs to make things work for me, even to get to the level of facing the political actors and all that. There is no job. You need to build yourself. You need to train yourself.
What kind of jobs have you done? You say you've done menial jobs. And you are even saying that even your parents were not even sometimes responsible for your school fees.
Sometimes when you tell people this, they will think maybe my parents are good, they are fine, but when it's capacity, the ability to do something, when you don't have it, there's nothing you can do.
So they couldn't afford it. You come from a very poor family, isn't it?
I can't tell them very poor, but they also have other things to do. They have siblings, I have that, but I pick my future into my hands. I want something to be said about me. Sometimes some people go to my Facebook page and I like things that have happened before and send it out and said, this is what I said, so time. This is what I do, so time. I said, see, I've been an undertaker before, dancing with dead body.
Dead body.
Yes, everywhere.
With coffin on your shoulder.
On my shoulder, everywhere. There's no work. I've been anybody that knows Akure very well. I walk from Okearo to Futa North Gate to go and do what the Yoruba people call Jotonyo, just to pay for a school fees.
On foot.
On foot. If anybody knows this area very well, you will know the kilometers that you will follow, and you will go there and come back.
What is jot? What's that?
People that sieve gravel.
Oh, at the construction site.
Yes, I've blasted stone before. So what again? Then I have the capacity with my hand to cut grasses as 2, 4 plots, 5 plots within 1 hour. You will see me, I'm done, just because I want to get the money. Today, everybody said, engineer, I laugh at them. The engineer does not come like that. The only reason why I moved away to go and said, okay, this is what I want to do, because I started with IDD. This is what I want to do, is because I was following laborers. I was following bricklayers, mason. I was following them to site just to do the job. I miss concrete as if I would never miss concrete.
So you understand how to be a bricklayer?
I do everything. Everything. I can mold myself. I can set myself. There is no job I cannot do. I told someone that I was looking at a guy and I was saying, do this thing well. And the guy was saying another thing. I said, see, I'm a professional photographer. I studied.
You've done that too?
In Egbeda, I'm a professional photographer.
In Lagos?
Yes.
So you moved from doing menial jobs in Akure up to Lagos?
I was a conductor.
Bus conductor?
Yeah, sure. Egbeda, Okowojo, Igbedi, Dimu, Isheri, go to Yemkem and all that.
So you conducted buses along that area?
Yes.
These are areas that I'm also familiar with.
I started a boardman. I started with a boardman. We joined them. They will be doing it. You'll be looking at them. Within how many
to learn,
days to learn.
Yeah.
Before you know again.
As a trainee?
Yes.
Trainee bus conductor?
Just to make money. And this money is not to buy wristwatch. It's not to buy anything. It's not to buy glasses. It's not to put in big hair and whatever. No. It's just for me to have an education. So whatever education, whatever English I'm speaking now, whatsoever it is that I'm speaking now, is because of what I've picked the future in my hands already from the onset. And that is why by the time they said, okay, what made you a minister? I was saying it categorically that the kind of leaders that affect your life, that put a voice to your life, determines a lot. And that is why you see majority of us. And I said even the initiative of a government that we're talking about all the time, putting on dashboard so that they can see and all that, is because I'm saying it categorically that you don't need to know me before you get to anywhere. You don't need to know me before you get all these things. You don't need to know me before you acquire all these things. Because I was nowhere. I was no man's son. I was nobody's son. Before my father died, nobody knows him. He's a gentleman that stands in a zone that doesn't want anybody to harass him with his kobo that he gets. So if the president can do that for picking you as a no man to become a minister.
So you were nobody.
It's not nobody.
You
it's
were
a
just
privilege.
you were just a normal guy doing bus conducting in Lagos.
Get my education.
So do you still remember how to do bus conducting?
Somebody was saying something before and I was laughing. I said, when people said my two, Lagos is becoming good now. They say my two. And the people will look at you. So people will just be looking at you. People will be looking at you that, can you say this? Those are the process you've went through.
Wow.
And those are the process. That is what is keeping us. That is what is making all the leadership in us. Because we learn through the process.
And again, I mean, from what I gathered, you seem to have had records in going to FUTA, right?
Yes.
And also, you went to a polytechnic in Ekiti State.
Yes.
What happened? I mean,
yes. In the process of this struggling and hustling, there is an issue. There are problems. And instead of us to sleep and say there are problems and join courties, put up to things and other irrelevant issues like that because you're a young man, we stood and we stand and we said, see, this is my future.
Was it due to activism?
It's due to activism and all that. There's no how. There's no how you're not going to have it if you are strong or you are standing behind something. People will find and trace.
So you had a problem with the school authority?
Yes, you had a problem with the school. Then you now go back and said, okay, I don't want to stand alone. I still want to continue and do this and do this and do that.
So you abandon your program in FUTA?
Then you come back again and come and do it. Immediately you are done with them. But instead of us to break down, we continue.
So you left FUTA and you will now move to the Polytechnic in Ado-Ekiti?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I did.
And your parents did not frown on that?
No, even my parents, sometimes they don't even know what happened then. Everybody was just thinking that, when you give back to a child and what happened to you? What happened to you? What happened? This happened. Why is my child? They don't even know. It's only somebody that you are paying the school fees that you say that to actually. But I'm struggling to do the school fees myself, so I know how it looks like, and I know what to do to make things work for me.
So you just wanted to finish school?
I just wanted to finish school.
But you were notorious as an activist.
I was not notorious.
Because
I was stubborn.
In the school system, activists are seen as notorious
I can say I'm
people.
stubborn because...
And we seem to have a lot of notorious activists from Ondo State.
No,
Your likes, Showore.
We don't have notorious. We just believe that we know the truth. We must just say the truth. And that is why you see in our former governor too, late Akeredolu, he will tell you, back to back, this is it. Let's do it like this. Why can we just stop? And that is what I was saying sometimes, that can we just stop all this road map and follow the road? And just eat the road for the first time. And that is exactly, anyway, we've not gotten to the government perspective, but that is what we are saying now. And that is what the president is doing. And that is why we are helping, putting hands together to say, okay, let us follow the road, reach the road.
To Olawande, no godfather, but mentors.
Yes, we have mentors.
You got there only by God's grace.
We have mentors. We have how they call it? We have mentors. We have leaders. We have in the state, in the national level. My leader is a giving birth of Bola Tinubu that gave birth to Sheyi also. He's my brother. He's my mentor. Everything we move.
So you and Sheyi, you are very close.
I'm close to him. He's my brother. He's my leader. He's my mentor. I look up to him.
You hear that he's probably been touted to be governor of Lagos State.
Everybody says whatever they like, actually. So everybody has everybody have tendency to become whatever he wants to become. But when it goes to political distance, everybody says what you like. When you are, this is what I've understand too. When you are outside there, and when you're popular, or you have one or two things to do, people will say a lot of things about you.
So you don't think that Sheyi himself is the one that is engineering that?
Not, no. If is he young? Is he too young to become a governor? He's not too young to become a governor. That's the truth.
So Sheyi can actually be the next governor of Lagos State.
He's qualified to become anything. He's a well-trained young man that has built
a father being a president, a son being a governor.
That has built a lot of young people, massive young people, even when his father is not the president. We've seen president's son, we've seen governor's sons, we've seen everybody enjoys the life, you see them and all that. This is the first time we're having it so different. That's the truth.
What is different about Sheyi?
The difference is that he pays a way for you to grow. He pays a way for you to grow.
So he's
not sitting down inside the sitting room enjoying lives alone or with his friends in America and every other places in the world. But he's there doing the work himself, wants to see how things can go differently to the young people of this country. He has the capacity to become whatever.
So there's a possibility of Sheyi Tinubu becoming Lagos governor?
He has the capacity. That's all.
So he's not the one driving it. There are people outside who are driving this.
No, people must drive you before you drive yourself. In politics, actually, it is you that you now look at yourself. That can I? Is it possible? Will I? Should I? So it's. But there's one thing you can't take away from that. He has the capacity to do whatever he wants to do.
Let me ask you. You're coming from an activist background, and a lot of people will say things are not easy for the youth of Nigeria today. If you were in the shoes of some of the people who are not in government, maybe you have been leading with placards on the street, protesting against this government, but you are part of them.
Let me tell you this, and I will keep on repeating it. Nigeria is over 60 years old. For over 50, 40 years, for over 40 years, let me just put it at 40 years, the young people of this country, because for us as Africa, as Nigeria, if you are 40, you are still a very active youth. Even at 45, you are still a very active youth. For over 40, you have not been able to feel the government. You've not been able to see the government in any way. I just explained myself to you just now, that all those processes I went through, if there is one government there, maybe it would have been better than this. Maybe I would have been president by now. I don't know. Maybe the privilege can come. For over 40 years, the youth of this country have not been able to feel the government. They can't see the government. They can't touch the government in any way. For the first time, for the president to have a president that said, okay, see, nobody will go to school and leave the school because you are not able to pay your school fees. And that is why the student loan came in and said, see, nobody should go out of the school anymore. And even now, and I'm happy that I'm here, I'm pleading to most of the young people in the Southwest, in the southern part of this country. Not every, I understand their plight. I understand what they are going through. I understand everything. That is not easy for you not to have been able to see government and you will tell me not to go and raise placards. There's nothing the government is doing for me and you said I should not go on the street and protest. But when you have a government that wants to renew the hope of the people, it will also take a time to convince them, to engage them, to talk to them, to let them know that the government can really do better than what they've been doing before. And you have a man that listens very well. He listens a lot. And the only thing he's looking for is a legacy. So I don't blame anybody. I'm a comrade, and I'll always be a comrade. I don't blame anybody for going out and said, because truly, there have been a lot of back and front of government. This will say this will say that. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. They will come and tell you that we have a plan, 252, 11 years plan, so plan, and nothing will happen. But we are here to renew the hope to say that, okay, come. What is happening is happening.
But there are those who will say, when you say that they've not been feeling government, there are those who will say they are feeling the government. What they are feeling is the hardship. They are feeling the heat from the policies of this government. That this government, yes, they are, for the first time they are feeling government, but it's in a bad way.
Fine. They are feeling the government not in the bad way, but trying to put things in the right position. Sir, you can attest to this. It is not the day you were giving birth to that you started, immediately you were giving birth to. After 7 days, that is when they know you are Shion. And some people put brother or whatever. Immediately you were named and all that. You grow from there, severally, and it is a step. We have a bad step. We have a system, an institution that is working against itself before. And we have a man that wants to put this institution in the right direction. So it's going to cause a step, a process, a country that cannot before, and that is what we have, cannot feed itself and take it. We have Nigerian youth, present Nigerian youth that we have, that I know, that I'm part of, that I'm also representing, that if there is anything you can't take away from us, we are workaholics. We work like anything. We have the brain, we think. In sport, you will see us there. We are making everything we can do. We are proud of ourselves. In entertainment, you will see us there. We are the one ruling the world. And that's the truth. We have Nigerian youth that in tech, we make it happen. We have those people that even are non-skills and on-skills. And you will be doing all this job and you won't feed the government and you are saying that it's not an hardship. It's a process. And very soon, we will be off of this process.
But I mean, there are those who say these are bad. Some of those policies in themselves may not be bad. Bad timing, bad preparation, bad organization.
When you are not part of it. And that is why I'm also begging the Nigerian youth. Let us stop them from using politics to divide us and make things work for ourselves. And that is why even me, myself, as a Minister of Youth now, I'm putting the open door that policy. I'm part of, that I'm also representing.
If you are in PDP, you are in DMD,
if there is anything you can't take away from whatever party you have.
This is not about party now.
It's about our country. Nobody will come and build this country for us.
Well, Minister, you do buy things more expensive than you used to buy them 1 year ago.
I do.
So why do you think that Nigerians should think differently? Because things are now more difficult for them before this government came into power.
Because and that is why I call it the process. Very soon it's not going to be difficult again. But we must follow the process. There is no any iron that becomes gold.
So Nigerians should be hopeful.
Very hopeful.
How would they trust this government that this government will do right by them?
Because of the leadership.
What leadership? The Tinubu government?
The leadership.
But Tinubu is himself?
Yeah, himself. Because of the leadership. Because
Nigerians should trust him for what purpose? For what reason?
The first reason why Nigeria will trust him is even in the youth aspect of it. I'm here sitting down. I'm just 35. I'm here. I'm saying I have an open door policy. I've said I have leadership skills. I said I have this and that. And I'm in charge of this. And I'm saying people have talked about things that is going to be as issue. And I'm saying it's not going to be as issue. As far as I'm the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in that Ministry of Youth Development, it can never be as issue.
What are you going to do differently to make the lot of the Nigerian youth, better?
I've said it, and I'll say it again. if there's any problem we have, is unemployment. Give me problem one, unemployment. The other problem is when you are employed, when you have something to do, when you are engaged, things will fall in place for you. And that is what the government, and that is why I'm saying that is the opportunity. Everybody can never be a civil servant. Everybody can never be in the villa or in any government house or any. No, this is time for us. And that is why I put up the campaign that one Nigerian youth must have at least 2 skills. The problem we are facing as youth now is because nobody is talking to us. Nobody is even telling you that you can sit down in your house and get a skill. A lot of our young people put up Coursera. A lot of them. We are on Coursera. I also learned from Coursera. There's a lot of things I'm still learning up to now. But I'm putting it up to them that in this year that we started now, this government, this ministry, we do everything to empower the youth.
How many people are you targeting? What numbers are you targeting?
We do everything to support the youth, and we do everything to protect the youth, and we started it already.
What are the numbers? What are the numbers you are working with?
I don't want to give you a number so that you won't come back and say, because we may even surpass the number by the time we started. Because
but what kind of jobs? What kind of engagement?
The engagement we are putting is that first, those that does not have skills, that believe we have, and thank God we have a department or agency under the Ministry of Youth that deals with majority of a larger percentage of the former youth. Because I've clarified youth into two classification now. One, former youth and informal youth. And let me also give you this. The informal youth are much more than the former youth. Who are those former youth? People like us that can speak English, that went through schools, primary, secondary, tertiary, blah, 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 and we find ourselves at the NYSC camp. That platform is there where you have 480,000 young people that pass through that NYSC every year. We will go back to those platforms. And we will now flash back and say, see, we have informal youth. And that's the first time. It has never happened before that you have a minister that is interacting with the tricycle owners, Akumoron, NLTWs, artisans, through ITF and all that.
What are you giving them? Are you giving them soft loans? What kind of trainings are you giving them?
A lot of trainings, and we are telling them how to use what they have.
How are you selecting them? Are these
we are not selecting
APC? Because usually what happens is they politicize it.
For the first time in this country, I entered my vehicle and drive down to the Akumoron's office. Because they are the one doing it. They are the one in charge of this.
So you are using the different institution to empower them, to train them. What kind of training?
To train them on how to use their machine, how they are going to make money from it, and how we are going to introduce this CNG to them so that everybody can start getting this, and to work with the presidential CNG initiative, because majority of those guys are youth. Now, and because the government have also focused more on the former youth, majority of the focus on the former youth. You know there is a lot of informal youth, and it happens. I will give you an example, my brother. When the issue of NSAS was up, all of us, people like me, the former youth, we started it. I was there. I was part of it. But when the informal youth came, and you saw what happened now. Everything goes bad, started burning, because they have nothing to lose.
Did you regret being part of NSAS?
No, I've never. I don't have any regret about that.
But I mean, what transpired after all the aftermath?
We know it, and that is what I'm saying, that they are not engaged. And we are there now. So we are there to go back to the grassroots and engage them, talk to them, ask them what they want to do.
So you're going to each of the local government areas, or how are you organizing it?
Even the confab that we're talking about, a lot of people believe that it's the same confab that we used to do before. But because the president listened very well, this confab is going to happen simultaneously in the grassroots.
So explain what this confab is going to be about. This is the Conference of Nigerian Youths.
Yes.
And it's going to be in every state, right? When I was
Minister of State, because of a tendency and the situations of a country that happens everywhere, when I was Minister of Youth, a Minister of State for Youth, I've visited over 22 states. Over 22 states, and not their capital city. Don't be surprised that I've been to Borno before. I've been to the local government that was close to Chibok and Chibok itself and all that. We've seen with ourselves. And what we are saying is that we should have a different approach to the initiative that we bring to everywhere. What is happening in Borno is different from what is happening in Yola. What is happening in Yola, in Adamawa, is different from what is happening in Kaduna. What the youth need in the South is different from what the youth need in the Southwest. Even in Ondo State, where I came from, there's some youth that when you invest in them, when you throw them to the boss, they will do well in sports. They will do well in entertainment. They will do well. So what we are saying is that let's even look at the areas. Let's stop talking about the problems. Let's make a research instead of following the trend.
When will the conference? Because the president announced it on the October 1st.
No, even January 1.
Yeah,
yes.
He still mentioned it.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
When is the conference starting?
Very soon. We will put it up.
You don't have a date yet.
No, I won't give you a date.
Did you hear what Showore said? Your brother from Ondo State. He said that it is just for the president's son and his friends to make money.
Money.
Yeah, that's what he said.
We prove him wrong. When we get to the bridge, we cross it. Because if it is for the president's son and his friends to make money, then it will get to grassroots. And that is what I said the other time, that a lot of people believe that is a normal confab, that they will come and put you inside the hotel in Abuja here. And when you are going, they will give you money like but now, it's 30 days. The hint I can give about this confab is that we have 30 days. We've set up our work plan. We've put it up there. We are expecting the first 2 weeks is going to be in the federal constituencies. The second week, probably will come to the zoning. And after that, we now pick this thing and come to Abuja and put all those communicating together. Whatever we see. And even it does not end there. It will never end there. We will now form up what I call NCC. And we'll come and say, okay, in the legislative, this is what we want you to do. The president is fully supporting us because he's listening to us. The judiciary, this is what we need to do. The executive, this is what the president needs to do. And we put it up. And I can assure you, and you can hold me for my words, because we are dealing with a man that listening to us. It's not about the president's son this time around. It's not about the president this time around. It's about our future. It's about where we are going to.
So is it that as a youth minister, you don't know the problem of the Nigerian youth?
I know the problem. But
do you need a conference to know the problem of the youth?
I know the problem of Nigerian youth, but I know it on my own capacity. But I've said this before. When I was Minister of State, I just said it here. I moved around some states just to see what is happening. You will discover that there's no development even as making us youth or whatever. Let me give you this. For the past 40 years, we have a youth centers that naturally people will have in other countries. The question you ask me is that, is the youth center located in where they need it? No, those are the questions we ask ourselves. Is this youth center located in where it's being needed? No. Do we even have, okay, let me give you an example. I just talked about, let me talk about 5 components of youth that can address our problems. We talk about youth in sport, right? We talk about youth in entertainment. We talk about youth in ICT, tech. We talk about youth in agric and the educational part of it. Don't be surprised that immediately I become a minister in October 23rd. I have a ministerial order. I looked at it when I served in Gombe, and I was to be posted to somewhere. It was civil engineering, and I was posted to one school. What do I know that I need to go and do in that school? And I make a ministerial order, and I'm serious about it. And I'm very serious about it. And very soon you will see all these things, all this implementation is going to come out. No core members should be posted to where it's not their area of study. It will never happen again.
Really?
I can tell you for free. I'm serious about it.
That is a standing order now.
And I'm going to start fighting people about it. If they like, let anything happen. But in as much as I have the backing of we must do the right thing. If we don't do it now, there's no time we can do it again.
So if you study chemistry, you have to be posted to the relevant
authority that you go and for 1 year. What I'm saying is this. And you will agree, all these things are practical things. Before, when NYC was created, it was unity in diversity. But now, Are we still in 1675 or 1987 or whatever? No, we're in 2025. We're advancing. Between me and you, I'm a millennial. I have Gen Z coming at my back. It must be a productive year. Not that I just want to go and serve my father's land. It must be a scheme. It must be a scheme that will affect your life positively within 1 year.
Now, let me ask you. Showore, for example, said he's not going to attend if he was invited.
I will beg him. I will still beg him. I will still call him. And again,
because he said the real youth are not going to be reinvited.
That's what I'm saying.
That is the president's son.
No, that is why he also need, and that is one problem too we have as a young man. He's my brother. I respect him a lot because of his energy, activism, to show that he's with the people. I respect him a lot, but we should also learn too, which is very important, to make research. Make research. Maybe it's the same confirm that they are going to pick. I can tell you, I've attended like 3 confirms, 2-3 confirms in this country, whereby it's a delegation picking. They picked you, but I said no. We are going back. Everybody is a week. If you're artisan, if you are this, if you're that, it's simultaneously is going to happen, and not the usual way whereby they call you. You are a delegate from. You are from Ogun State, sir.
No, I'm from Kwara.
You are from Kwara. A delegate, I said that so that you can say yours. I can come from you. A delegate from Kwara.
Yeah.
No. This time around, when people ask me, I've received a lot of message. Even, I'm a party person. I'm an APC person. A lot of my APC people have sent a message to me. I will just ignore, laugh, and go. Because the fact is that we want to do the right thing.
Are you giving them allowance for the confab?
The procedure will come out.
So you don't have the template yet?
The template will come out.
Now, let me ask you. You mentioned the NYSC, but there is a problem here.
Right.
The federal government announced an increase in the NYSC allowance from 33,000 to 77,000, effective July 2024. 6 months down the line, core members are still receiving 33,000. Would you consider this as an unfulfilled promise of government under your watch?
This is an issue that I've explained to several core members. I've been to their camps. I think I'll be the first minister to visit camps in this country to even see how their well-being is and how they live, how they are being treated. And that is why I came up with all this idea, because I visited over 25 camps in this country. That's 25 states. I visited over 25 camps. It is a process. It is a civil service. So you must follow the process. Immediately the process is being done, they are going to be paid.
So it's a bottleneck. The money has been approved, but it has not been released.
Yes, it's going to be released. It's going to be paid. They are going to give them.
So those who have finished NYSC, would they be able to get their arrears?
Immediately the process is being concluded, all of them are going to get it.
Even after completing their NYSC?
No, I don't know about that.
No, because if the president said, pay them, and there's someone
again, sir, you're a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the president says is being picked, and this and that. But there will be a process for it. You can't just immediately start paying 77.
But the instruction of the president took effect on July 2024.
The civil servants. That's the general civil service this thing, not NYC. Some people will just carry an NYC. Fine, it's going to work. But immediately, we're on the process. I've written. I've sent my deeds. We've come together. We've put everything in hands, even with the DG of NYC and all that. And the process is going to be concluded.
So it's not stopped from your office. It's in the Ministry of Finance. So that's where the problem is.
The problem is not there. They are doing the process.
So it's taking 6 months to get it done.
No. They are doing the process. Immediately, the process is being concluded. The core members are going to be paid. I've even come up with something, and I think everything is in line. Very soon. You
cannot give us a date on when?
Let me give you a date.
We're in January. So is it possible that by the end of this month, some of them will start getting the 77,000?
I can be sure of that, because we are putting everything on our.
So it's likely that end of January, the core members will start getting their 77,000.
Sure. They should.
All right. Let me ask you. There is this, and I'm wondering how you are going to be able to carry a lot of the young people along. A lot of them who are very angry about the country. By the way, there are a lot of them who have their side and eyes on Japa, on leaving this country. What would you be able to tell them? A lot of them who cannot feed, who don't have hope that when they finish NYC or graduate from the university, there is nothing to do. No jobs for them. Unemployment rate is over 30%.
That's the question.
Now the question is, what do you say to that person, the young man, the young woman who has just graduated but no hopes of a job? How do you convince that person not to japa?
Do you need to convince people not to japa? No. I don't believe in that.
As a minister of you, what would you tell?
I don't believe in that.
Someone who is somewhat hopeless about this country.
When the view of hopelessness about this country should be a second thought. Nobody is hopeless about his country. There's nowhere that can be like home. That's the truth. But when you have the opportunity to take a step and learn more and come back to the country and make use of those things that you've learned, I don't think there's any problem about that. Because you have the opportunity to go and do that, to get the experience more about other people, see how they do their things and come back. Because don't let us deceive ourselves. I said it. The major problem we are facing as a young man is, what are you going to do? Anytime I go to NYC camp, I ask them, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? What are you doing? Are you thinking about doing anything, putting anything in place? Because majority of them, again, they have been in space. We have been far away from them. So to convince them overnight will be difficult. But gradually, we will get there. To convince them to have a skill.
Is there even a scheme, Minister? Because there used to be. There's a you win. I mean, grants.
No, that's not a skill.
A scheme.
A scheme, okay.
Yeah. So, there are people who have ideas. Yes, there may not be the blue, white collar jobs available for them to apply for. But if there is a transparent process where people can go into get soft loans for small businesses.
We are getting to that.
There used to be you win. What happened to it?
Not even you win this time around. And I will tell you the reason why most of this initiative of government is not working at the end of the day. Maybe one administration comes and all that. It's because, when you are doing one-man show, nobody is being carried along about this. Or probably you have an agenda, you have a separate agenda for whatever initiative you are bringing to the people. But when an initiative is being owned by the people, and is being supervised by the leader that knows their what and how to do it. And that is where you can get this thing working perfectly. I can tell you that a lot of initiative to support the youth are on track. And very soon. And that is why I used to say that I don't think I have the spirit for talking, action. Let me come here and tell you that, okay, this is what we've done to support the youth in so way. And very soon, very, very soon, you will see the NGF. It's going to be out. And I'm saying it now, and I'm live. I'm saying it now, that you don't need to know me or know anybody or send anything to get these loans and grants that is going to come under Youth Investment Fund. You don't need to know anybody. And that is why I'm putting it straight. That, see, it has taken a very long time. But if we don't put these things into the in a good perspective, we will come back here and start saying story again.
So youth will be able to. There's supposed to be a youth bank. They will be able to be set up.
I'm doing that. We've set that up at the ministry already.
Okay.
It's coming up very soon.
Where youth will be able to get
access to loans and all.
When is that coming on board?
Very soon. We've said the first thing. One of those first thing I did immediately I become the Minister of Youth is to make sure that there's a working committee, technical working committee on this youth bank. And the NYIF, the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, is going to come out very soon. The only reason why a lot of people have said a lot of things, promise, like you said, the promise of the government, but we must do things in the right way so that you won't come back and we started telling you a story, or I will now be reading my lips because they will point to you. I was on the Twitter space sometimes, and some people tell me that, see, come, NYIF, you are going to give to your party, you are going to give to your this. Truly, we are all human beings. You will have side distance for a lot of people, but I can tell you that you don't need to know anybody because before you get this loan, in as much is happening in that ministry.
So we can get guarantee on that.
Sure.
Would this come before March or when? Because under your colleague, the former minister,
yes, maybe we have.
It's supposed to have happened since last year.
What happened is simple, and that is why I say we should do things in the right way. I don't think I have the capacity to sit down where I don't know what the back end of a website is coming from. I don't know, maybe it's a spirit or a woman being that prepares that. It's not even residing in the ministry. And you want me to throw that to Nigerian youth, that I'm coming from the grassroots, that I'm part of them, that I'm a minister is a privilege, that I'm just their age regiment. I could do that. We must go down and give it to those.
So you are reviewing the process left by your predecessor?
Very soon we'll put it out. Very soon we are going to put it out, and it's going to be handled by those that knows how to do it better. Now, you're not into any financial institution. You don't know how to pay anything. You don't even know much about grants, and you just want to put something out for the people so that people will come back and say, the renewed hope that the president is talking about is this, is that. No. The president is doing everything.
So you are rejigging that process led by your predecessor?
Yes. The president is doing everything possible to create an enable environment for the youth of this country.
So if you don't have a job, you can approach the youth bank, apply for it, and be able to get.
Yes, and even there's another thing we are trying to do, because a lot of people they don't really have the information that they need. And one of those first things we did immediately that we launched in this December was the youth dashboard. Because a lot of people send things to you on WhatsApp, send it to you on this, send it to you. They said it's not correct, to scam you and all that. You don't need all those things again. Just go to the youth dashboard. The youth dashboard
is a website.
Is a website.
What is the website?
I'll